My sister was sent to boarding school, but never came back, and my parents refused to tell me why. 7 months ago, my 14-year-old sister and my grandma flew out to a different state, and my parents told me my sister would stay at boarding school for the summer. I asked them where so I could visit her, but they told me she specifically said she didn't want to see me. My sister and I were always really close, so when they said this, I knew something was up. I tried pressing them about what was really going on, but my dad got really mad at me. It's too traumatizing to recall what exactly happened, but all I'll say is I had to lie to people about why I couldn't walk straight and had bruises. 3 months later, my sister was set to come home, but when I asked my dad what day she'd be returning, he told me she said she loved boarding school so much she didn't want to come back yet. I knew he was lying, but I couldn't do anything, so I just nodded and told him I understood. 2 more months went by, and by this point I was really worried. I hadn't received a single message, letter, or text from her, and when my dad started turning her room into his office space, we got into an argument. It ended with him threatening to lock me up in the basement if I kept sticking my nose where it didn't belong. He told me she'll be back soon, and also said if I ask anything about her again, he'll make what he did a few months earlier feel like a massage. A small part of me was still in denial and holding out hope that he was telling the truth. But then, while looking through the attic, I found a box with my sister's stuff. I found her phone, and that's when it hit me. Why didn't she have her phone? I knew something was seriously wrong and that I had to do something. So I went behind my parents' back and told my best friend what was going on. They had specifically warned me not to tell anyone or else, but I no longer cared. My best friend was my rock during this time. Not only did she believe me, she also told her parents about it, and they helped me plan everything. I snuck out in the middle of the night and went to their place, and it was here that I started making calls to authorities to try find my sister. I reported my parents, gave their names and address, explained the entire situation, then sat back and waited. The following days were the hardest of my life. I couldn't eat or sleep, and I was constantly looking over my shoulder thinking about my parents finding me and coming to get me. I threw up more times than I care to count, but finally after 9 days I got a call. It was CPS, and they told me they had found my sister. They said they had found her living 500 miles away with some man who had ties with my father. Turns out my father was indebted to this man and had been for a few years, and so to pay off the debt, he gave him my sister and told him he could do whatever he wanted. My dad and grandmother were also arrested and are currently being held in jail, but my mom got off the hook because it turns out my dad threatened her life if she didn't go along with it. My sister and I are currently both staying at my best friend's house until authorities find us a foster home. I'm overjoyed to have my sister back, but I can tell she is deeply traumatized. She refuses to talk about the details of what she went through, and I can't blame her. My best friend's parents plan to start her in counseling soon, and I fully support them.